Hey everyone, welcome back. Another new day, Sunday. I don't even know what the date is, February 18th or 19th anyhow. Doesn't really matter, one day just rolls right into the next. So I'm still working on this driver's side front fender. It turned into way more of a cluster than I was planning on, and I'll just show you why. Once again, dealing with aftermarket parts can be a real pain in the ass, but it is better than trying to build some of them because they're so complicated. It's easier just to modify them. So what I'm working on, what I'm dealing with here, if I can get some light in the right spot. So I've got the brace welded in on the back side here. I put the new piece on. I used the same process I did on the passenger side for getting that all shaped and welded. But what I've run into here, and I'll see if I can get this position better so we can see without blinding you. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Get this down a little bit. So the bottom section of the brace, this is the old one that's all rusted out here. The distance from the bolt to the bottom and the shape of this is just completely out to lunch on the new replacement part, and it's causing lots of grief. When I put it on here, what I've got done right now is I cut just below where my piece of sheet metal is welded on top here. I cut the bottom section off of this inside brace, bolted it in where it's supposed to be here to hold everything properly, so that the bottom lip of the fender it spot welds to the bottom edge here. And for that to work properly, I had to raise this almost ½ an inch. So I have to mark this now and then cut it off and re-weld it back on, and then I'll have to brace it from the back side there, and then I can finish making my repairs. I got a little bit of a rust through or stress crack right here, and I have to build this piece and a little bit of this. So I guess I just wanted to show that. Don't bank on your aftermarket parts fitting like a glove, because it don't happen. Okay, we're back again, another new day. I got this fender all done, got everything planished out. It turned out pretty good. The piece at the bottom there, the brace rework on the back side, and then up at the front here I had a few dents to work out. There was a fairly nasty one right here. I got it out pretty good. There was another one here. I was able to use the air chisel and that steck tool to push it out. This one, I'm not even going to touch. It's a little bit too far forward. The structure for the headlight bucket is in the way, and I can't get at it, so it'll have to stay there as character. There was also one down here. It popped out really easy. So the next thing I'm working on is above the windshield here. I got a bunch of stuff cut out. I cut out the inner structure, and I'm just working on getting the lower outer lip taken off. And I'll come inside here. So instead of drilling a whole whack of holes through that lower lip to get the spot welds out, because they're all over the place, what I've chosen to do, and hopefully you can see here, I can pry it up slightly and I can see where the spot welds are, and then I'm using a little 3-inch die grinder cutting disc and a curved end burr on my die grinder, and I'm just grinding the spot welds until the metal's thin enough that I can pop it off. And then once I have this whole inner piece all removed, I can go back over and carefully clean up the material that's left where the spot welds are, get this lip all cleaned up, rust convert it, and then I can start fitting the new outer piece. Once I get the outer piece in, I can use it to line up my inner piece and get that all welded in here. And then we can move on to these ungodly A-pillars. Okay, everyone. Took about 45 minutes, and I got all of the spot welds ground off on the inside. And once you get all that rusty stuff out of there, it doesn't even look like it's that bad a job. Yeah, right. So I got all of the stuff cleaned out that had to be done there. I think I can trial fit. I got a little bit of straightening to do on the flange in the roof there. Just to get a little carried away with the screwdriver in a couple places. I've got to wire brush the inside and sand the outside here so that I can plug weld it. And then what I'm going to do is get the piece up there positioned the best I can, and then I'll start drilling some holes for clecos and such to hold everything in place while I spot weld. So, okay, I'm going to carry on here, get this all cleaned up, and hopefully this is turning out to be not as bad as I thought, as long as I didn't shoot myself in the foot here. Okay, everyone, we're back. A few days off here, working with tires and wheels and getting that project all taken care of. And I got everything cleaned up, rust converter on the inside of the roof, and I've spent probably 2 hours trying to figure out how to line up this outer roof section, the replacement piece that goes right here. It's spot welded into the lip on the roof. I can't find any reference marks anywhere. Both sides are different. There's a measurement I took from down here on the base and to the seam on the where the A-pillar goes, and both sides of the truck are different right from the factory. So all I did was try and get this thing centered in here the best I could. Once I had that, I had one measurement that I took off of the before I took the original piece out. There was one little piece of lip left, and I used my adjustable square here, and I set that for a distance down like this, and that's the only thing I could think of for lining this up. So I've got it in, and then I drilled 3 holes and clecoed it so that I've got it where it has to go. Now I'm just working on getting the inner structure in place, and all I've done here is I'm using the hole for the, I'll just go over to the other side, the sun visor hole, using it as a reference. It's the only thing I've got to go on, and lining up the edges where the two meet. I'm going to scribe a line down both sides, and I'm going to cut that out, and then I can get this piece kind of up in place, figure out what structure I still have to replace on the inside there, and see if we can get this to go back together and have a windshield that actually fits. Okay, once I get some more figured out and cut out and figured out, we'll bring you. Okay, so I've got everything lined up, clamped in place. I put one cleco in the center here just to hold everything centered, and I got a mark on both sides where I can cut the old piece down. I'm going to leave the line on and kind of sneak up on it. That'll be my next move here, and then after that, I guess it'll be time to weld the outer piece in, and then put this center piece in and get it all tacked in place and weld it in. Okay, so after a bunch of screwing around, probably an hour, I figured out I had to reposition this outer panel and push it all the way out instead of holding it in a little bit. Drilled some new Cleco holes, and then everything on the inside here is where it's supposed to be. I've got a really good fit all the way around. So next thing I have to do is take the outer piece back off, drill all my spot weld holes, get some weld through primer on there, and I can weld it in. Before I do that, I've got some more rust that I found on the inner structure for the roof that I got to figure out how I'm going to fix. So I'll get this all tore apart here, get some holes drilled, get stuff cleaned up. Okay, we're back again. Another weekend gone. Whole bunch of stuff done. So I got the outer piece of the windshield repair all plug welded in all the way across. It's all exactly where it's supposed to be, I hope. Now on the inside, I'm just going to get the final holes done for plug welding up on that corner bracket up there. There's 2, 4, 5 plug welds go in on those. I have to drill the holes in the header panel to go up there. Then I'll have to spray some weld through primer up, and I can get that piece put up. So as you can see here, as I've been cleaning up, this corner of the roof has been getting really bad. There's all kinds of little pit holes. There was a big mouse nest in there on each side. So what I'm hoping to do here is once I have everything installed, A-pillars and such, then I'm going to cut this piece out and make it to repair the damage that's here. That way I can tie right into this A-pillar. From the factory, I'm not sure what these boneheads were doing, but they welded this joint, and then you can actually see pick, like a body hammer with a pick on it, and they literally beat the shit out of this. There's great big dents to push it in, and then there was at least ½ an inch of lead in the center of this. So once I have everything tied together, then I'll cut this out. I'll weld a new piece in that'll come down, blend in nice, so I don't have to use any filler on it here. So that's what I'm going to do next, get that all done. So one other thing here, just let me get you in the tripod. Do this without dropping you on your head or breaking my camera. So when I was welding the plug welds in on that header panel up on the front there, the only way I could get the ones in the center was to lay on the cowl. And I didn't pull the welding helmet all the way down, and I got one of them great big red hot cherries went in my left ear here. It's got a blister in there big enough now that it's blocking the ear canal, and pretty uncomfortable. So make sure you guys are careful out there. It's the smallest thing that seems to bite you all the time when you're not expecting it. So we'll be back here shortly once we get ready to put in that inside panel. Okay, we got the inner structure in. Hopefully we can see here. I've got it tack welded all the way up the sides. I got this interior brace plug welded in 5 places on both sides. And then I spot welded the inner to the outer all the way across where the pinch is for the windshield to go in. So now I've got some braces put in on the passenger side, and I'm going to start taking this A-pillar out. Hopefully nothing's going to move. I've got this angle piece goes down to the floor. This one comes down from it, and then this one comes back down to the floor as well. So it should hold everything in place. I think I have a plan. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm going to, this side is good from here down, except for the very bottom. So I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this hinge pocket alone. I'm going to cut across here, and I'm only going to replace the upper part of this A-pillar just to keep everything as tight as I can in the process here. So starting to take this A-pillar apart. I started working on the outer piece here. It's a little different than the replacement. So what I've done is I drilled out all of the spot welds. For some reason this has got brass on it, and I believe it's from the factory, which is really bizarre. So I got this piece cut out, and it's rusty as all get out. So now I can access the inside to get apart the upper part of the A-pillar here, and I believe there is spot welds on the inside here that I'm going to have a lot of fun trying to get out. And I have to figure out how it is joined up at the top here as well. I think it comes up and it's spot welded into the top edge here, and the inside's all rotten, so it shouldn't really matter up there. So I'm going to keep going on this, see what I can get to come apart. And the reason I took this off was just so I could see how it goes together to make it easier for putting it back together. Okay, we're back again, another new day. Still working on dissecting this A-pillar. I got the outer part all removed here. I ended up cutting part of this structure off so I have access. What I've decided on the upper, or on the A-pillar on this side, this is going to be my cut line here. I'm going to go across. This is all completely solid. I'm not going to screw with it. I put a brace here to stop this from kicking in and out. Got all my braces up top. So next thing I'm going to do is make this cut all the way into the front here. And then I've got a few spot welds to drill, and we'll see if we can get this piece out of here without too much issue. The only thing I'm worried about is if there's spot welds in here to the dash. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get to them. So anyhow, we'll carry on, see if we can get this out of here. Okay, we're back again. So I got, what I've had to do here is dissect this little pieces at a time. I had to cut it all so that I could get it out of here. Should be real fun putting the new piece back in. So I've got it all loose. It should have been welded up here to the dash, and it wasn't. So we got quite a few problems. It's all loose now. I had to cut this off on the bottom, and I'm not quite sure what's sticking us here at the top, but I'll figure that out, and then I'll try and get this ripped right out of here. So, and we can see how the new piece is going to fit. So we will be back in a few minutes. Okay. That's a rather scary sight. No A-pillar holding anything together here. So I got the old rotten piece all out of there. Pretty bad. Now I'm going to, I got to clean everything up. I got to weld a little tab on here that I had to cut off. There was a hidden spot weld. I've got to clean this all up here, and then I have to figure out how to cut the new A-pillar to fit in here, and I'll have to make a triangle piece here to patch that all in after the fact. Here's another thing. I found a little bit more factory brass. So wherever they had a gap or something, they threw a bunch of brass in there, which is really goofy. So, okay, we'll see what we can get here, see if I can get this new piece cut and fit. Okay, everyone, my worst fear has been realized. This is why everybody complains about Chinese parts. I don't know if I can get this in frame for you to see. You can see that the original A-pillar, this is the inside that goes next to the dash. It comes down and it's got a kind of a curve to the inside. Well, the replacement doesn't have the same amount of curve. And with all that doubled up structure, I don't know how I'm going to bend this to get it to follow where it has to go. This is quite bad. This right in here needs to come over on the bottom at least 3/8 of an inch. So this could be really interesting, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, we're back again, another new day. So what I ended up doing, I got this trimmed and fit, so everything was good down here. To even get it to install, I had to heat it here and bend this in a little bit. Now that this is all in, and this is all the seam, everything's parallel. This part here fits really nice, comes up, and if you look up top here now, you can see that it's totally out to lunch. This has to come forward and it has to twist outwards to be able to line up on the windshield frame and the door post here and everything, or the roof. And the roof hasn't gone anywhere because it's fastened down. So now I have to somehow heat this whole thing up, give this a twist so that everything follows and sits where it's supposed to here without destroying it. So I'm not real happy with these Dynacorn parts so far. I guess it's easier than trying to make it, but still, what a pain in the ass. So anyhow, I'm going to get this heated up and see if I can get it to tweak into position where it has to go. Okay everyone, we're back again. That was a whole lot of dicking around. So once I had everything welded at the bottom here, I used a big crescent wrench on the flats and I heated this all the way around and twisted it. Which way? I twisted it this way because it was unsquare towards the front, and I had to pull it ahead just slightly. So I got a really good fit up in here. It came right in to the front here. Let me get rid of that light so you can see. Lined up really nice on the outer windshield upper there. But once again, we have a problem. And if you can see here, the fold in this piece of steel doesn't even come close to matching the original. So I'm going to have to split this here. This piece is supposed to run at an angle and then straighten out, and I'll have to make a filler to go in here. So when I cut this piece out that I have to replace in the roof because it's rusted, I can put this in and make it all work in at the same time here. So this piece itself, I won't say it fits great. It takes a whole lot of force to get it to sit flat. I will have to drill all my holes here for plug welds, inside and out, and it'll just go on a couple pieces or a couple spot welds at a time with the vice grips. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is build this filler here that goes in and adds all the strength to the backside, and then from there I will get this started and lined up. I'll have to split it up here, like I said, move that forward slightly, and then I still have to deal with the inside here. Hopefully you can see this is where the A-pillar meets the roof. I'm going to have to split it here, come down a ways, because that doesn't quite go wide enough to line up on the lip right here. So I'll get that done, then I can weld this, and then I can take my bracing out and I can get it both sides. So that's where we're at. I'm going to keep screwing with this side, and then there's only one left to do. So once I get this all fit and everything, I'm probably going to put the door on just to make sure everything's okay. So I got the door mounted in here. It needs to be moved straight back slightly. I need to get rid of about 1/8 of an inch of the gap at the back here. The gap is really even up and down. It's just the whole door needs to come back slightly. So like the rest of this A-pillar, it fits like shit. So this piece, the outer piece, as you can see, I got a great big gap here, all the way around to here, and then it tightens right up at the top here. So not sure how I'm going to fix that, or if I'm even going to bother, but I'll have to deal with that at a later date. The whole door has to come out a little bit. I have to adjust the hinges out slightly. So, but I guess the good thing is it fits. There's lots of clearance on the inside. What I'm going to do next is finish off this structure. I have to modify it slightly to get it to close up around the windshield gap. And then I can make this new piece for up here, fill in this split I had to put in so that this followed the original roof line properly here. So, okay, I'll carry on and show you the finished product. Okay, back again. I got everything roughed in. I got the patch made for the rust holes in the edge of the roof. Everything's got to be ground up yet. I got the inside all modified, welded up. It's probably just a big black hole here with the sunlight over there from the window. So that's all done. I've got a whole mess of grinding to do here. And then we can do it all over again on the other side. Here we are again, another new day. Making some progress. I've got all of the welding done on this side. I've got everything ground, blended in. I'm just going to give it a wipe down here and throw some primer on this side. See if I can get some lights in position here. I've got all the spots done. Everything's ground up. The piece I had to replace up here in the header. It's looking pretty good. Once I get all of that done, then I can seam seal everything. Just let me move some stuff. See if I can get in here without killing myself. Give me a sec here. Takes both arms to move all this frickin' fat flab around. So, okay, so on the inside we've got all of the spot welds ground. The seam is all welded up. Goes down. I sanded the dash a little bit there. Everything seems to have come out not too bad. I'm hoping the windshield's going to fit. I'm not sure if the guy's going to have to do some manipulating on that lip. Once I get the pillar in on the other side, I'm going to take the old windshield, which surprisingly is still in one piece despite all of the cracks. Get you turned around here. And hold it up there, and I saved the rubber, so I've got bits and pieces of the rubber, and I'll get that set in there, and then maybe I can do some manipulating on that before I get too carried away. So anyhow, guys, that's the header above the windshield and the one A-pillar. I'm not going to bore you with watching the other A-pillar go in. Same crap I did on the passenger side. So once I get this other A-pillar in, I've got the floor repair to do on the driver's side and a couple of small airbox holes on the driver's side, and then just fill in on the back side of the hinge pockets to keep the crap out of there, and rust repair will be done, and I can move on to getting this thing mounted on the 03 chassis. So I'm looking forward to that. Really enjoy the heavier fabrication framework, body mounts, that kind of thing. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one.